All right, we're still looking forward to the game. The game is on Friday, the first game against Liberia on Friday, and before they travel to Praia to take on Cape Verde. The team will be depleted for the second game in Cape Verde. The UK players won't be traveling to Cape Verde because of his red list. We had Gernot Rohr to talk about this. How crucial are these two qualifiers for you? I think maximum points is needed from these two games to put us in good stead ahead of the other games. But do you think we're taking away these core players? The whole of our midfield are UK-based. And we had 7 replacement lists, and these are guys. And Gernot Rohr has always stressed the need not to try out new players. It's time for business, but I think his hands are tied here because with these players not turning up for the game in Cape Verde, we might just as well see 1 or 2 debut for some of these players. And some few maybe players playing out of position. I really don't want to see that. But do you think we'll have a chance looking at this situation and in the 2 games coming up?
Cape Verde is a very good team.
Very good, I agree.
They are industrious, they are robust, their ball distribution is excellent, their ability to use the ball in tight spaces is also very, very good. I think aside Nigeria, Cape Verde is one of the toughest opposition that we're going to have in that group. So if we're going to play against Cape Verde, we should be using our best players. But, our hands are tied. If you're red listed, you're red listed. If the entire African contingent in England had come out with one voice, and that's again where we lose it. And it should have started with people like Mo Salah, people like Sadio Mane, those bigger ones.
Sorry to cut you, because I saw somewhere Emil Martinez, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, is Argentine. There's a midfielder, Emiliano Buendia. Yeah. They traveled to their country because it's also red listed. So if they couldn't hold the South American players, why did African players have to? I was just thinking about it.
That was where I was going to, because I was even going to use somebody like Gabriel Martinelli as an example. Gabriel Martinelli is a bloody nobody. This is not me disrespecting him. I love the boy. He's a good player, especially with that solo goal against Chelsea. I always love him. Okay, as an Arsenal fan, but Arsenal didn't want him to go to the Olympics because he had been out injured for about 5 to 6 months, and they felt like it would not be fair on them. After nursing your injury, you're just coming back and then you're jumping straight to go play at the Olympics. Not like you're playing at home, but you're going to travel from England to 18 hours to Brazil, and then you travel about 22 hours again to Japan, jumping around, changing different environment, culture, and the rest, and then you come back to us. There could be a whole lot of problem. But the guy said that, look, I'd rather terminate my contract than not play for Brazil. This is not the Brazilian senior team. This is the under 23, and he's not going to be a regular player. Even Everton wanted Richarlison not to go. You find a reason to stop him, but then he went. My point is, if the African players in Europe had come together, and there's one thing that African players always do that pisses me off. Yaya Toure also did the same thing, and then there's a comment accredited to Balotelli. I don't know if it is true because I didn't see the video, but they said that African players should band together and not go to Europe. After you don't go make money finish, now you won't stop other people, you decrease. The time when they make money, toss make people not go. They always speak when they don't need to speak anymore, when their voice will no longer be useful. If these African players say, look, listen, the African Nations Cup and the African World Cup qualifiers is as important to us as this club that we're playing for, we would rather quarantine, because they're not saying they will stop you from playing for your club. They didn't say they will ban you. They're saying if you go, you'll be quarantined. If they say, okay, we'll rather quarantine and forgo a week's pay, it's 10 days. The quarantine is 10 days. We would rather forgo a week's pay. Some of these African players that are also saying, oh, we are London, we are UK based, we are not going to go. They are bench warmers in the club. So whether they come or they don't come for the Cape Verde game or the other qualifier, they are going to go back to their club. They will still not play. So I don't understand the loyalty. If you come to Nigeria or you come to any of the African countries, you will play. So why not choose to play and make a statement? But when you help the opposition, the enemy, like the Afghanistan people, one day some part will become Taliban, some part will become Afghanistan. The country will be in disarray. That's exactly what we are saying here. If South American players can go represent their country, even in red listed zone, why are African players so loyal, so dedicated, and so committed that they can't go represent their country? That's the problem.
Maybe for some of these players, they might be so crucial for their club sides. The club can't afford these players missing games. I look at the situation of the Brazilians.
So going to the World Cup is not crucial to them.
I don't know. I don't know how they come up to that. It's crucial, but maybe I'm looking from the club's angle now.
No, I don't. From this, I don't have to look at it from the club angle. Miss one game for your club, but play for your national team.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.